And this hour, we're focusing on why retailers in one industry are seeing green in more ways than one. We're talking about the cannabis industry. States like Colorado, Oregon, and Illinois are all making headlines as they rake in billions of dollars in recreational marijuana sales. They're just 3 of the 18 states who have legalized recreational marijuana use. And those 18 are expected to see marijuana sales top $33 billion combined by the end of the year. And that number is only expected to get higher as more states consider legalizing. By 2026, annual sales are expected to exceed $52 billion. And that's without marijuana being legal at the federal level. So there's the projections. Now let's get to why cannabis has become big business. And before we look forward, we have to look back at how we got here. If you drive through states where cannabis is legal, you'll see more dispensaries popping up. Like in Colorado, one of the first to legalize recreational marijuana, there are over 500 dispensaries in Denver, more than there are Starbucks in the state. It's a trend seen beyond just the mile-high city. According to the 2020 U.S. Census Bureau, 145 million Americans now live in a state where marijuana is legal, either recreationally or medically.
This wouldn't have passed 10 years ago for sure, but people's attitudes in America are changing.
So how did cannabis go from being illegal to a billion-dollar tax revenue generator for states where it is legal? Let's start in 1996. California became the first state to legalize the use and sale of medical marijuana. By 1999, 4 other states followed suit, allowing medicinal marijuana. It wasn't until more than a decade later, in 2012, that Colorado became the first state to legalize weed for recreational use. A decade later, 18 states, 2 territories, and Washington, D.C. have legalized recreational use. Cannabis is legal by prescription in 3/4 of the country.
It's showing that people are more and more receptive to this, especially for the 21 and over crowd.
The demand has always existed, but with the new legal setups, it's proving to be a multi-billion-dollar business. The legal cannabis industry saw growth over the last few years with more legalized markets like Illinois, Montana, New York, and New Mexico. A number of states also deemed dispensaries essential businesses during the height of pandemic shutdowns.
I'm very excited about not only what this industry has done, but where it's going to go.
For years, dispensaries' main customers were medical patients who doctors prescribed medicinal marijuana to relieve symptoms of conditions like arthritis, anxiety, and PTSD.
It can help you with epilepsy, it can help you with tons of diseases. I mean, there's tons of studies.
With more states legalizing, the reach to new customers is growing. Steve White owns Trulieve, a chain of over a dozen cannabis stores in Arizona, with more on the way. He says the sales numbers are attractive.
Let's put it this way. It's a whole lot greater than everyone predicted that it would be in the state of Arizona.
2 of the most recent states to legalize are already seeing financial gains. Recreational marijuana sales in New Jersey totaled nearly $2 million in April on its first day of sales.
It's very encouraging just being in the cannabis industry and seeing results like that in such a short period of time.
And in Illinois, the state recorded nearly $669 million of marijuana sales in 2020, the first year of legal sales. Last year, that number more than doubled, with nearly a third of sales coming from out-of-state customers.
States that have not legalized and are bordering legal states, they're sort of donating tax revenue to the states with legalization, right? Because their residents are crossing the border and purchasing and contributing to the tax coffers in the other states.
Take Wisconsin, for example. The Badger State has not legalized marijuana. Of Wisconsin's border states, recreational marijuana is legal in Michigan and Illinois. Minnesota allows it for medical use. Proponents of legalization say their state is missing out on creating jobs and collecting more tax revenue.
Cannabis is an industry that requires a farmer to grow it, a processor to process it, distributors to distribute it, retailers to sell it. So the plethora of jobs and opportunities under a robust cannabis legalization bill is huge to the state and to the government.
Opponents of legalization argue the move could make problems states already have even worse.
Legalizing it is not going to make Wisconsin better. And for the legislators that are looking forward to whatever $1 billion that Illinois makes and throwing that into the coffers here in Wisconsin, you're just adding more complications.
But an April survey found 6 in 10 Americans think marijuana should be made legal federally. A majority also supported changing the law to allow banks to partner and work with cannabis businesses. Growing demand for marijuana products like edibles and vapes have added new opportunities for jobs in the industry.
We're close to 400 employees just here at our indoor facilities. And we're looking at adding another 150 or so next year.
3 years ago, we could run this shop with 15, 20 people. We're up to 35 plus people in a single shop.
According to Cannabis Marketplace, Leafly, the industry supports more than 428,000 full-time jobs in the U.S., and business is only growing globally. Cannabis market researcher New Frontier Data shows legal cannabis sales topped $23 billion in 2020, with the market expected to double by 2025.